The New Zealand team, after the first night of teams racing, became clear winners, beating the United States 149 points to 113. The New Zealanders drove with great consistency, and all 5 team members finished all 5 heat races. The Americans, however, has certainly had their share of problems with mechanical failures and handling the very slick track of that night. So with the New Zealanders taking a 1-0 victory, they were very confident that they could do it a second time round. But the Americans, they were even more confident that this would not be the case, and that would certainly not happen. Stan Fox, you've been plagued with a lot of handling problems and haven't really been running well at this stage. How do you think you'll go tonight?
Well, you know, we've only had 2 nights to get this car sorted out, and we made a few changes this week, and I'm sure that the Kiwis got their hands full tonight. The car feels good, and I think we're in good shape.
So you think you'll be able to beat the Kiwis tonight? No?
As Sleepy says, you know, what was it? Not this time, Kiwi, and the Yanks are going to blow them away tonight for sure.
Paul Robinson, you've had your share of problems. How do you think the New Zealand team will run tonight?
I think we'll go pretty well, Wayne. Same as we did last week. We'll just run, be consistent and finish all the races.
The Americans say they're very strong tonight. Do you think that will still result in the New Zealand victory?
They say that every night, but they've got big mouths.
Bob Oliveira, you've had your share of problems. How do you think your chances are going to be tonight?
Well, hopefully we're going to be a lot better. A lot of people pitch in and help Pat Johnson, and we rebuilt the whole motor, and hopefully we're going to run all night tonight and give them a little bit of a race.
So you think the Kiwis are in trouble? Pardon? You think the Kiwis are in trouble?
I don't say that. They were awful strong the other night, but if we can all finish, I think we'll be a lot closer at the end of the night.
Pat Johnson, the Americans say they're going to be running very, very strong tonight. How do you rate the New Zealand team's chances?
Well, I think it's going to be a little harder, but I still think we'll beat them.
So as the drivers headed out to the track, the second night of teams racing looked to be shaping up to be a battle that the Western Spring spectators would not forget for quite some time.
This is over 10 laps, and it's Brett Horriban who takes them through for New Zealand. Larry, Sam Thompson for 9 seconds. Go back to Pat Johnson, Sleepy Trip on the outside. Get him on the outside. Get him on the inside. Thompson going off from now and running in 5th. Labouring very nicely. Horriban.
At this point in the race, Gene Jennerton has run away from the field after starting on grid 7. But the all-night battle behind him was just starting between Brett Horriban and Sleepy Trip.
Number 3, Sleepy Trip. There's the checkered flag coming up for number 31, Gene Jennerton. Second will be Brett Horriban.
Gene Jennerton takes a checkered flag with Brett Horriban second and Sleepy Trip third.
New Zealand.
Larry Rice was forced out of this race with a fuel injection blockage. He later found the offending part in the pits. Pat Johnson was the first New Zealand casualty with major mechanical problems and was very kindly loaned a car by Grant Wilkes.
Private Sleepy Trip with Horriban behind him. Go back to Owen Shaw running 3rd. 31 is Jennerton. Larry Rice. Go back to Ted Tracy. Brett Horriban, Ted Johnson and Bobby Oliveira. Very comfortable.
Jeneton chases Paul Rollison and manages to get by very, very quickly. Was the second New Zealand casualty of the night, with major mechanical problems as he pulls to the infield. Sleepy Trip wins with Gene Jeneton second and Paul Rollison third. Owen Shaw's mechanical problems proved to be very expensive and one that would put him out for the rest of the night. Ted Tracy leads him off from grid 1 and opens up an early lead, but watch for Larry Rice coming up. The Brett Horrobin Sleepy Trip battle is on again, and the young rookie is still managing to hold out the experienced Sleepy Trip. Ted Tracy goes on to win this race with Larry Rice second and Bob Olivero third. Gene Jeneton failed to finish the race after a major mechanical failure. Gene Jeneton, what's your problem?
We broke either a camshaft or the timing gear in the engine.
Okay, so that basically puts you out for the rest of the racing?
That put us out for the rest of the night, but we got a new motor we can stick in it with us. We'll put it in maybe tomorrow.
Brett Horrobin leads the field away with Stan Fox on the outside. Stan Fox spins his car onto the infield yet again. It would appear that Stan's handling problems are still unsolved. Brett Horrobin goes on to win this race with Larry Rice second and Ted Tracy third. As the cars come onto the track for the last race, the New Zealand team is in trouble for points. The Americans, even with Gene Jeneton out, are in a very commanding points position to take the second test and to bring this test series to a 1-all draw. Trip battle is on again, but this time Trip is desperate and just watch his move going into Pine Tree Bend. As the race progressed, Sleepy opened up a large lead and went on to win and secure an American victory. Brett Horriban was second in this race with Stan Fox third. The American team came out for their trophy presentation and was satisfied with the fact that they had brought the series to a 1-all draw. Sleepy Trip became camera shy after the presentation, so I spoke with fellow team member Larry Rice. Congratulations on a US team victory. How do you feel?
Oh, we feel real good. We thought that we came down here with a real good chance of winning it if everybody stayed together, and tonight we did all stay together, and we came away with a victory.
Now, the young New Zealand driver Brett Horriban was the highest point scorer tonight, and Sleepy Trip's comment to that was that he was a little worried about these young Kiwi kids racing. How do you feel about it?
Well, you're always worried when a young guy comes out of the right out of the ranks and has never been proven yet. But he's done a great job. He's never gotten in anybody's way, and I don't think he's caused any crashes. So I think he's done himself well, and I don't think any of us have any fear of racing against him anymore. As a matter of fact, he's one of the best drivers you got down here right at the moment.
What do you think has been the New Zealanders' downfall tonight?
Inconsistency, I think. We had 5 guys that ran pretty consistent up front. You had a couple of guys that broke, but a couple of the other guys didn't run very consistent. I think that was the biggest thing. We were just a little stronger, that's all.
Ted Tracy, the New Zealand team was down by 28 points. How do you feel about that?
I think both teams drove real well. All competitors, all the machinery let us down. One night it was the Americans, the other night it was New Zealanders. It was a real good competition, and I think that the crowd got their money's worth, and hope the event occurs again next year, and maybe we can do better than 1-all.
The second test series was a complete reversal of the first. This time it was New Zealanders that were plagued with mechanical problems, and the Americans finally came to top form. This resulted in a US victory, 143 points to New Zealand's 111. Now, that brought the test series to a 1-all draw. The New Zealanders actually won the series on an overall points basis, 260 points, with America accumulating 256 points. The Bob Tattersall Memorial was the feature race of that night, and with the teams racing over, it was every driver for himself. Now, any one of the 5 Americans would have loved to have won this race, held in the honour of their late countrymen. John Godfrey leads the 16-car field away on the first lap of this 20-lap race. John has won a couple of feature races this season from Grid 1, but the question would be, would the only Chevy 2 in the race be able to hold out the strong field of Volkswagens behind him? The back markers being Tripp, Rice and Tracy were starting to make their way through the pack early. Ted Tracy had made his way to 4th place by midway through the race, but right behind him and chasing hard was a young Brett Horriban. Sleepy Trip was making good progress through the field, but the pressure he was applying proved to be disastrous in Pine Tree Bend. Sleepy sat and waited patiently as the crew tried to straighten a bent steering arm. but unfortunately he was forced to the infield. On race restart, Ted Tracy started to make his move, but Brett Horriban was not letting Tracy too far out of his sight. On the last lap, Brett Horriban was trying to desperately catch Tracy, but the soft dirt was his undoing. Tracy goes on to win the race with Horriban not too far behind.
Now, he was a great race car driver. He's probably one of the best ever to come from America, as you all know. And we're quite proud of him. He's a history down here more so than in the United States, I think.
Larry Rice finished in third place after starting from grid 15. Ted Tracy was a very happy man in winning the race, but Brett Horriban was starting to make his presence felt in his first year in midget racing by taking second place. Ted Tracy, congratulations on your win on the Bob Tattersall Memorial. That was quite a fast ride you had out there with a lot of pressure coming from behind with young Brett Horriban. Did you think you were in danger at any moment?
Oh yeah, no, I knew he was there, and I wanted to do a couple of things to the car to try and make it go a bit quicker, but the thing is, if I had have made an adjustment, it may have gone the other way.
The World 30 Lap Championship has certainly been dominated by Americans. Since its inception in the 1966-67 season, there's been great winners like Bob Tattersall, Merle Bettenhausen on a couple of occasions, and in more recent times, Rich Vogler, Sleepy Tripp, Larry Rice and Bob Olivero. Now this year it was taken by a rookie, and without a doubt it was one of the most spectacular finishes to a race that we've seen at this track for quite some time. Bob Olivero, you won this race in 1978. How do you rate your chances tonight?
Boy, they're pretty slim right now. We've been having a lot of trouble since I've been here. We just need a whole lot of luck right now. We've had nothing but difficulties, and hopefully we got our problems ironed out.
In terms of competition, how do you rate the New Zealand competition here?
It's real tough this year. I've been away for a few years, and they've definitely improved, and they're racing real hard, and they've got good equipment, and it's real competitive.
Owen Shaw, how do you rate your chances tonight?
Well, the track's pretty rough, Wayne, but I guess it's a pretty well single file, and we're off the back. It's going to be sort of elimination, I think, but it's going to be hard charging going to be done, and I guess if you finish, I guess you'll be lucky, and if you finish up front, well, you'll be luckier still. But
do you rate your American competition?
Well, they're the best. You know, if you can beat them, well, you've got to be pretty happy with yourself and your machinery.
Brett Horriban, this is your rookie year in midgets, and you've done exceptionally well to make the New Zealand team. How do you rate your chances tonight, and how do you rate the American competition?
Well, the American competition is very, very strong. I learned a hell of a lot that last meeting last week, just with how you can't give an inch. You're just going to be on top of the car every inch of the way. Tonight, the tracks doesn't really suit us a hell of a lot. It's not the car's fault, probably it's my fault. I'm just had a lot of slick racing. I'm dialed into slick tracks, but to get it all together in the tacky stuff.
Gene Janiton, this is your first trip to New Zealand. How do you find the style of driving here?
It's a lot different than back in the United States. Tracks are so much slicker, and it's a more like a one-groove track that makes it very hard to pass.
How do you rate your chances tonight in the World 30 Lap race?
A lot better than it was tonight because the track is a lot heavier tonight, and my car works extra special on a heavy track.
Pat Johnson came to the rescue of Bob Olivero and very kindly loaned Bob his car.
Well, Bob Olivero is a very good friend of mine, and I've stayed with him on numerous occasions in the States, and he's had bad luck down here with his car, so I figured it was the right thing to do.
John Godfrey leads the field away, but Warwick Keane is very quick to take the lead in Pine Tree Bend. Keane starts to open up a lead that he would hold for quite some time, but the back markers are starting to make their move as well. Sleepy Trip is having handling problems but recovers quickly, only to spin Bruce Kennedy in the next turn. Towards race end, Warwick Keane is still in the lead and setting a very fast pace. Brett Horrobin is behind him and Sleepy Trip is in third spot, desperate to hit the front. On the last lap, Trip makes a move that was totally unexpected by everyone. Sleepy Trip wins his first big race this season at the Springs. But has he? That decision will be left in the hands of the stewards. Sleepy Trip, that was one heck of a race. Any after-race comments?
Have they disqualified us yet or what?
Well, I'd say the chances are pretty good that you are going to be disqualified. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I don't know. I missed a few guys. I think they're probably in the infield, though.
And sure enough, steward Carl Drever advised Sleepy he was out. Not only for spinning Bruce Kennedy, but for also using the concrete embankment to his advantage during the race.
You're just about put yourself down there.
It was a very happy Brett Horrobin that won the race after Sleepy had been excluded, and Brett had taken his first big race for the season. This is your rookie year and you've just won your first major race. How do you feel after doing that?
Oh, I'm wrapped. I just can't believe it, really.
Did you see Sleepy Trip run around the concrete on the outside of you? What were your thoughts at that time?
I saw a car come around the outside, a glimpse of my helmet, and I thought, well, he must be getting close to me, so I better put a bit more effort into it, you know. But I was going for it. I don't think he would have passed me. He did, but never mind.
Warwick Keane was second with Larry Rice third. The 50-lap race is the highlight of every season. Both the race fans and the drivers work themselves up for this event. Race qualifying was held earlier in the week, with Gene Jeniton setting fast time. Gene Jeniton, you've qualified fastest at 15.6. It's also a new track record. You'd feel pretty good about that, I would imagine.
Yeah, I feel real good about qualifying that fast. It shows the car's working real good in the heavy stuff. But when it gets dry, it quits working that good. So we're trying to compensate for it now because it's getting dry out there.
Sure, there has been a lot of doubt about varying track conditions. Has that bothered you in any way or not?
Yes, because the track stays heavy, you just kind of forget about the car and it'll take care of itself. When it gets dry, you've got to do some changes in the weight, gear, tire combinations, stagger to compensate for it. And we're going to try it in the heat race. We took a bunch of stagger out and we're going to high gear. We're getting ready for the feature. We may not do no good in the heat race. We don't care. We just want to get the car set up for the feature.
You've got Larry Rice and Sleepy Trip starting right behind you, respectively, on grids 2 and 3. How do you feel about that? They certainly must pose a threat.
Oh, definitely. Rice and Sleepy is a threat all the time because you never can count them guys out. They're very good, especially Sleepy here. This is this place like going to bank for him every time he comes down here.
Brett Horrobin, you've got Sleepy Trip, Larry Rice and Gene Jeniton starting up front. How do you think you're going to run in this race? That's an awful lot of competition up front there.
Yeah, well, I think I'll just try and stick with them as much as I can. I know it'll be a very fast pace early on, you know. But I think time trials proved that if I really put my mind to it, I can stick with them, you know, and I'll just go from there.
You're the first New Zealander that's cracked the 16-second mark on this track at Western Springs. That also must be quite an honour for you. You also beat the current New Zealand champion, Ted Tracy.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised with that, but actually I thought it could have gone a bit quicker. I think if Sleepy had been driving my car, probably would have done about 15 dead. It was just, you know, it felt so good.
Ted Tracy's racing calendar had this race clearly marked for a win. He has been so close so many times before. Ted Tracy, you've run second in this race twice and third once before. A New Zealander has never won it. What are the prospects for a New Zealand victory?
It seems like it's hard work. Always a bridesmaid, but car's better than it's ever been. The crew's working terrific, so just up to the driver. So let's see if we can do our best, you know.
The rookie Brett Harben qualified slightly faster than you. He's done very well this season. Do you think you're going to have any problems getting by Larry Rice, Sleepy Trip, and Brett Harben?
I don't know. We just play it as it comes. You know, see how the track is. Tracks suit different guys, so you know I wouldn't say that he's going to be any less or any easier, any easier or any harder than the other guys. So we just play it by there and see what happens to checkered flag.
Sleepy Trip, you've won this race 5 times previously. Is it number 6 tonight?
Well, the track's getting slick and our car goes good on that. I think my biggest problem is we've been turning the car upside down about every other race, so I think if I can keep it on all 4 tonight, I think we got a damn good shot at it.
Gene Jeniton starts in front of you. Is he going to be a hard man to catch or not?
Well, if the track was a little heavier, I don't think we'd even stay on the same lap with him, but the track's getting slick and he's starting to back up to us a bit, I think.
Second fastest for this race. You very nearly won it last year. Sleepy Trip just beat you to the post. What do you think your chances are this year?
Well, I think my chances are as good as they were last year, maybe even a little better. This race car seems to adapt well to this racetrack. Sleepy's always tough down here, and he's going to be the man to beat, but I think we've got things worked out pretty well, and I'm going to do the best I can to see what happens.
Gene Jeniton seems to be on top form, setting a new track record of 15.6 for 1 lap. He's going to be a hard man to catch.
Yeah, he's going to be tough, but I think the racetrack is not exactly his kind of racetrack. He likes a heavy, rough racetrack. This racetrack's going to be slick by the end of 50 laps, and I think that puts Sleepy and I back on top.
There's been a lot of controversy over the varying track conditions. Do you think that's been a problem or not?
Oh, it hasn't been a problem to us. We're used to a lot of different racetracks and a lot of different conditions. I can see where the local guys are used to one way all the time, and it might be a problem for them, but I don't think for any of us it's been a problem at all.
So you're holding your prospects tonight pretty high then?
I think so. I'm always optimistic when I think things are going my way, and I kind of think they're going my way.
As the drivers paraded before the race, it was a foregone conclusion that the battle was going to be up front all the way. With the distance being 50 laps, it could have been anyone's race, but the large crowd wanted to see a Kiwi win. Brett Harben and Ted Tracy were the closest New Zealanders within striking distance. With the likes of Jeniton, Rice and Tracy in front, they had a hard task on their hands. Sleepy Trip had won this race 5 times already, and tonight he wanted it to be number 6.
Is this runway 2 to Ted Tracy behind 87 and very keenly interested in his progress. Can somehow get up alongside him, and between the 2 of them, who knows?
Sleepy Trip started to put the pressure on Rice very early in the race, but Larry Skill kept him at bay. As the track got slicker, Larry Rice goes wide, and Sleepy takes quick advantage of the error and sets sights on Jeniton. Larry Rice still has Sleepy within sight, but Tripp is on the move and gets by Jeniton. Ted Tracy catches the Americans as Larry Rice also gets past Jeniton. Tracy also gets by Jeniton as well. As Tripp starts to lap the traffic, the gap between himself and Rice is ever widening. Towards race end, Tripp was on his way to his 6th victory, but Rice and Tracy are still not too far behind.
Tracy going through. There he goes.
At the checkered flag, Tripp wins by a half-lap margin, with Larry Rice in 2nd and Ted Tracy in 3rd. After flipping twice 2 weeks previously and being excluded from the World 30 lap race, Sleepy finally wins a big race. And this race was the most important one of all to him. Sleepy Tripp, congratulations on your 6th win. What's the secret?
I'm not sure what the secret is, but the cars are working good and the crew have been working real hard the last 2-3 weeks.
Now Larry Rice was chasing you pretty hard there at one stage. Did you have any fear of him catching you at all?
Well, when we got to Gene, we were both knocking on him pretty hard, and I just thought I had to get to him, get past him before Larry did, because after Larry lost that one last year, I thought it'd be pretty hard to pass again. So we got him a little quicker, and it felt pretty good. I ran out of brakes about halfway through, and I couldn't get in the corner very hard. So,
Sleepy Tripp, congratulations, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Wayne.
Larry Rice, this is your second place in this race. Sleepy Tripp has won it yet again. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm not real happy about it. I have to admit that this one was a little easier to take than the one last year when he beat us on the last lap. He just had things going for him tonight. I don't have any excuses. I ran as fast as I could run, and he just outrun us. He's got everything dialed in for down here. He works all year on winning this race, and this is 6 times he's done it, so he's obviously got things going his way.
Did you think at any stage you had a chance of catching him or not?
Well, on the start, I knew that the first guy to get around Gene Jeniton was going to have the big advantage. If I ever got in front, it was going to be tough for him to get around me. But I didn't get around Jeniton first, he did, and from that point, it was an uphill battle all the way. He made only one mistake that I saw all night, and I wasn't quite close enough to catch him on that one. And as the race wore on, he got a little faster, and my setup got a little worse, and he just kept pulling away.
What about next year?
I think we're going to come back and give her another shot. Twice in a row is a little hard to take. Maybe the 3rd time's the charm.
Ted Tracy, congratulations on your 3rd place. When will we see a New Zealand victory?
I don't know. We're sitting on the start-finish line and everyone's saying that, and I said I've been here and done that before, you know, so I don't know, next year. We'll go for next year. This year we wanted to do it. Didn't do it. Annoying. But the race was a good race, and the 2 guys that beat me deserved to win, so 1st and 2nd, so no complaints. Car's working good.